What is the best use for your funds, your best return on investment when you're kind of renovating a home or getting it ready? Where should you be spending your money and your time and your effort? Great question. That's what this 2 yeses and 1 no is all about, trying to save you time and money. So the first yes you should always do, we said this over and over again, you need to clean the home, you need to declutter it as much as possible, and painting goes a long way. It gets rid of smells, gets rid of scuffs on the walls, and it just gives it a whole refresh. Even if you're listing a home that's being torn down, it's always a good idea, if you have the time and the resources, to give it a fresh coat of paint and do something neutral, like, white, gray. I know people don't like white, but stick away from like pastels and those kinds of things. Just try to be as neutral as you possibly can. The second yes is if you also have furniture. Stick with furniture that goes with the home. You want to put furniture in the home if you possibly can, or especially in condos, because it helps buyers figure out the size of the room. When you don't have a bed or you don't have a table in rooms, a lot of times buyers just cannot conceptualize the size of the room. So it's always a good idea to put in some sort of furniture. But if you're listing like an older home, like a home that was owned by my nonna, for example, my grandmother, I'm not going to put in new furniture from this century, or even from 2024, when her home was built and she lived a life that looks like it was in the 50s. It just doesn't go well. So try to make sure that you want to keep the same motif. It has to be a consistent feel throughout the home. And the last no is, so the part of the no is like, no, you don't have to renovate your kitchen or your bathrooms just to put your home on the list, to put your home on the market. And the reason why I say that is some people will focus on a kitchen, but if the rest of the house is not updated, it's going to look funny, and you're not going to get your return on investment. Because if the rest of the house is not renovated, they may want to renovate the rest of the home and then knock out that kitchen you just put in. So it's always a good idea to consult with one of us to see where your best efforts are spent. If the home doesn't have a consistent feel, it's actually worse than is if it had a consistent feel. So what do I mean by that? If the rest of the home is old, but it's kept nice and it's clean, you'll save some money on that. But as well, you'll have a lot more potential buyers coming in, and you won't feel obligated to, make sure I'm like, well, I need to get that money back for the kitchen I spent. It just doesn't make sense. So make sure you consult with a realtor and put your money in the smart ways. Get your return on investment the smart way.